Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining today's session for all the customers from the APAC region, Unleashed customers specifically. Today's session is all going to be about discover the CRM that complements your Unleashed workflow. And just to give you a bit of an introduction, hello, by the way, I'm Suraj. I would be going through both the presentation and the demo with some live actions. I have been part of the Prospect CRM and Unleashed CRM for about 2+ years now. And if you do end up taking a free trial with us, we will have the privilege of meeting once again. So looking forward to see that. And the point of discussion is going to be, why is this CRM a perfect match for Unleashed? And also to dwell on the fact that how it's just not an add-on, but it's more like a natural extension to your daily workflow, and how it's going to complement your sales team, your sales managers to be on top of all the key customers that you should be focusing on right from the get-go. And in today's session, we're also going to be giving you some real business and profitable growth, some real B2B sales growth with those key features we've got deployed right on the free trial as well. And once when you start using the CRM, there's a lot of features and functionality that requires a bit more planning and configuration. And to back that story up, we do have a nice little review from one of our customers, as you can see on your screen. Before I go on to this particular review, both Unleashed and the CRM have been implemented for close to 5 years now, before both of us have been acquired by the Axis Group. Now that our teams have been acquired, both our developers work a bit more closely, which means you're looking at a tightly knitted software solution, which has a lot of two-way sync happening, and it's a pretty intuitive platform. And with the two-way sync, any changes that you make to your customer on the CRM, it will automatically flow back into Unleashed, which saves a lot of your time from double handling. And now let's move on to the story from Pure Medic Health. As you can see, Helen, the CEO, the day that I had the call with the CRM expert was amazing. I could see all my data there immediately and thought this was life-changing. Of course, there is a bit of a disclaimer alert. We're not guaranteeing it's going to be life-changing for everyone, but just to see the data sales transactions feed through into the CRM and then populate into some key actionable insights, it could be life-changing because we give you more of a targeted list rather than just a data entry system where other CRMs predominantly work as. And as I did mention, the word, we're just not a basic data entry system. We are going to be going beyond the basics. We're just not going to be a glorified platform capturing the communications, the email responses, and all the marketing campaigns you do. Yes, we do have that capability, but we're going to show you how do we stack up with the other CRMs in the market. Just drawing a nice little comparison. These are the top providers out there, as you do know, Salesforce, Pipedrive, and HubSpot. These are what we call a traditional CRM. At this day and age, all the CRMs have similar star rating and pricing. We are priced at a competitive level. But if you do look a bit more closely, this is what we call, as I did mention, a traditional CRM. What that means is these CRMs were built for a service-led platform, ideally computer software, real estate, or like even management consulting, where there is an elongated sales process and each division is trying to log in their activities. It's more like a long drawn sales cycle. And it's usually a high ticket sale, and which could be to complete the deal, it could take anywhere between 1, 2, or even 5 years to complete the entire workflow. And which could not be ideal for an ever-evolving and highly dynamic wholesale and distribution industry, where you need to understand the buying pattern of the customer and ensure you get your customers onto that repeat order cycle. That's where we come into the picture, and all our customers are in one way or another a wholesaler, distributor, or a manufacturer. And our CRM is built specifically for Unleashed customers, hence it's called the Unleashed CRM as well. Hopefully, we can show you some of those key functions as we move on. And as you can see right here, Unleashed customers, all are companies that sell physical products, are mostly product companies. And we've also been voted as the #1 Stalker as CRM, which is a niche kind of award to be won for a CRM. And you can also see the various accolades that we've got in Trustpilot or, like Xero, some of our partner platforms and QuickBooks as well. And we've also won a few awards in as the best functionality and features, and the most implementable, highly easy to use, and a high performer for small business. That's one of the recent awards that we won, which we will touch upon. What are those features that make us such top selling, CRM, especially for that companies that sell physical products, unleashed customers? The growth formula and the growth model, it does look fairly simple. It's the whole idea of any CRM is to bring in more customers. And this is done through your marketing campaigns, opportunity management, and so on. And we do have that functionality, but we heavily focus on increasing your higher customer lifetime value. Together, we can promise you the sales growth that we're after. And if I break this down formula for you, just to give you a bit more of an insight, we start off with one of the most basic concepts of the CRM, the classic funnel of doing business. The CRM collects the leads that marketing generates, and then you go through the various sales process. Once when you qualify them, this could be from your inquiry forms or campaigns, any marketing campaigns you're running, or any telemarketing efforts. Once when you qualify them, push them through a sales process, which could be that initial level face-to-face meeting, or sending a quote, or even sending samples if that's part of your business process. Finally, you close the deal and get the first order in. But as you know, in wholesale and distribution, if this first order is a bit tentative, this whole process can be a loss-making effort. And unfortunately, all of the top CRMs kind of end right there. They focus on filling in the funnel, bringing in more customers, get the first order, and that's where they're done. As you do know, if it's a bit tentative, as we did mention, this can be a loss-making effort. But whereas in Prospect or Unleashed CRM, what we're trying to do is to go a step further. Not only do we onboard your customer, but also push them to that, the funnel that we were talking about, which really tries to focus on your existing customer base, trying to increase that customer lifetime value. The focus points are increasing that average order value, your order frequency, and most importantly, the customer retention. So you don't have that leaky bucket effect where you're bringing in more customers and they're going through the other side of the funnel. So that's going to be the main area of focus with Unleashed CRM. And if you do come on board, this is what we call the growth playbook. This is something our onboarding team will sit with you and go through these various stages. As you can see, it's a simple breakdown of the growth formula, which is more customers and higher customer lifetime value. Um, and the whole idea of the CRM is to turn your business into a growth engine. That's what our system is designed to do. And in today's session, we're going to be showing you those certain features and functionalities which are deployed, which will give you that early return on investment with some low investment from your end. But as you start using the CRM, there are some certain features and functionality that require a bit more planning and configuration. Like we do have the ability to integrate the third-party marketing tools like Mailchimp, Klaviyo, and Spotler. We'll quickly show you that. And then we also have the ability to automate your quote-to-order workflow. We'll also try to show you, because quoting is something that most of our customers do heavily. We'll certainly try to see, how we can make that workflow for you nice and easy. And finally, this acronym called RFM, just going to show you what that stands for because it's one of the key reporting logics we've got inbuilt in the Unleashed CRM. As we discussed, all this infographic will be sent as a part of the webinar post follow-up email to your email addresses. And also, I did forget to mention that this session is being recorded. So if any of your team members have missed to join the session, you're most welcome to send them through the link so they can have a look at the presentation as well. RFM stands for recency, frequency, and monetary value based on your sales history from Unleashed. What we have done here is we've categorized your customers into the following segments. Like champions are the one who buy often, buy recently or spend the most. They're more like your early adopters. But if you do look at risk, they did spend big money at one point in time, but they've dropped in revenue due to various reasons. Could be due to seasonality or change in buyer. Whatever may be the reason, we indicate those customers to you. And finally, we have added another segment, which is the new customers. For any high performing, companies, it is quite important to add as many as new customers. You want more customers buying and using your product. So research has proven like the fourth order is like the tipping point in wholesale and distribution. So which means that until they place the fourth order, they will remain in this segment. So this gives an opportunity for your sales team to work with them a bit more closely, build that relationship organically, and eventually make them and drive them up through the segment and make them your loyal or champion customer. So that's a key reporting logic we've got. And bef- before moving on to the live data, what is this two-way sync that I've been talking about and dwelling about the whole time? And how is it going to provide you that zero friction that we're promising you? Let's probably have a quick look on what the syncing looks like. We've got our team has made a nice little graphic for you just to give you an understanding on how the two-way sync works. It is a deep two-way sync, as I did mention, because both our developers work very closely together. As you can see, we pull through data from Unleashed, which is your currency. If you're dealing with multiple currencies, with your suppliers and with your customers, with multiple regions, we pull through all those currencies. And we also pull through the taxes like your VAT or GST that you've set based on the location. And if you've got multiple warehouses in the same country, we also pull through those different locations you've got. Of course, we pull through the entire list of all your customers, who have placed an order with you at least once. And we also pull through any suppliers information if you've provided us the access to that. And using that information, we also pull through. This is where we stand out as that niche number one stock OS CRM. We pull through your products, pricing, and inventory. Unlike any other CRM out there, this is the integration that gives us the leverage to pull through not just your customer data, but through the integration, we pull through your product files as well. And the key little information that we're going to use into the CRM is all your orders, invoices, and credit. Pretty much all the sales transactions that have happened so far. Using all this data from Unleash, we filter through that information in the CRM. What we can do straight away, we have the ability to hold all your prospects in the CRM. So it could be, not just your potential customers who are also keen to look after your, keen or interested in your product. You can hold that information, and once they buy from you, you don't have to go into Unleash to create, a customer account. You can generate an Unleashed customer code, and this customer will automatically flow into Unleashed as well, which is again attributing to the deep two-way sync that we have. And this could be a bit of an edge case where especially could be quite useful for customers who have like a wide range of catalogs, like a wide range of products in your catalog. If you don't want to hold all your products in Unleashed, just for quoting purposes, we do have the ability to create new products as well. And once the quote gets confirmed, you can then create the product in Unleashed, and that can reflect in the CRM as well. Mostly used by companies for quoting. And then this is where we stand out. We have the ability to process sales orders in the CRM. The moment you process a sales order, that does get pushed into Unleashed as a draft sales order, then your operations teams pick ships and invoices it. It's business per usual. And using all this data, we give you a bit more of a sales analysis, which is, if customers who are already using AIM, or BI or any other Unleashed reports, this is a bit more of a deep dive into your customer data, like, not just your top selling products. We also show you who are the customers that are performing well, who's falling off that average order cycle. All the key data gets captured as well. So that's how the syncing looks like. Now let's see all this information that we have discussed in live action. Let me just quickly jump on to the next window. And then have a look if you can still see my screen, if I've shared the right screen. Perfect. I guess we're all good to go. So this is pretty much how the UI looks like. And it's pretty much an account manager always jokes saying that, man, it's the blue version of Unleashed. So that's part of the aim where what we have tried to achieve is to make this CRM as close to a lookalike of Unleashed so it gets easier for the customers to use this data. And right now, you can see right here, we are set up on the account manager's dashboard. We do have other dashboards which we will be jumping upon. Right now, this is going to be the primary area of focus. And this can be locked to certain account managers who, if you want, for instance, when Stuart logs in, he or she can only view the accounts that they deal with and the kind of revenue that they bring in. It could be quite useful because each account managers can have their own targeted list based on the settings you have set up in Unleashed. And front and center, picking up from where we left, we've got the RFM analysis. based on the sales history. Again, you can see right here, we've done the following segmentation of champion, loyal, and so on. If I quickly go on to your champion customer, we pull through information like the name, the segment, the type, the account manager, first order date, last order date, and the total order count since the time they've come on board as unleashed customers. Um, if you do look a bit more closely, the beauty of the CRM is we just don't project the data. We give you some key actionable insights through the three-dot menu. You have the ability to save all our reports to Excel, make them into a calling list if need be, to be on top of your champion customers. And if you are using third-party email campaign tools like MailChimp, Klaviyo, Spotler, you can add them to a campaign, export this contact list to your third-party provider, and then you can add those flyers. Any responses that comes from that campaign will get saved under marketing under campaigns. It could be quite useful again to ensure your marketing team is making sure they're running targeted marketing campaign for specific customers as well. And finally, we have the integration to Google Maps, which gives you the geographical presentation of all your customers. So you know where exactly they're located. It could be quite useful for account managers planning their on-site visits. And if you are, probably you have the ability to build reports based on specific territory and postcodes as well. Could be quite useful for those customers. And before I jump into and show you one specific customers, what's the level of data that we pull through from the two-way sync, I would like to show you what is part of the integration. This is a million-dollar question again. Right now, with the subscription cost, we do have access to your primary data, which is unleashed, where we're sourcing all that information. We do have the ability to connect to Xero or QuickBooks, where we can pull all your secondary data as well, your aged receivables. These are the three partners that I was talking to you about when it comes to marketing tools. And you also have integration to Stripe, which is an online payment gateway, as you all know, primarily to get those payments up front. And with emails, we have the integration to both Outlook and Gmail, where we have the ability to send emails from the CRM and save all the emails back into the CRM manually through the plugin service. And with Outlook customers, we also have a new segment over here, which is, the Outlook calendar sync. So you have the ability to track all your meetings that your team members have set for the day, and any tasks you have set up internally will reflect right here as well. Just quickly moving back to that champion customer, I'm going to jump on to Byron Bay Coffee. Again, as you can see, there have been, all the information is pulled through from Unleashed. We give you a nice little activity feed. And with all the tabs over here, I would like to show you the address. Any delivery address you have set up will get pulled through. And if you are shipping it to any other part of the world, if you do enter the postcode number, this will get populated as well. And contacts, it's a deep two-way sync. Right now you're dealing with Toby Sanderson, and if he's the general manager. If you do want to add an additional contact, you can certainly configure the role. Once when you hit create, through the two-way sync, this is where we save a lot more of your time. It gets pushed into Unleashed directly and saves a lot more of your time. And all the CRM things we'll quickly come back to. Documents is a key area where any emails you send, any project proposals will get saved right there. And that's the link to open this account in Unleashed. You can see you can access Unleashed directly from the CRM. You can see the type. You can see what's the kind of the GST, the payment terms, price list, so on and so forth. And once when you provide us access to Xero or QuickBooks, we can show you the list of all the invoices that are paid and outstanding. Moving back to the detailed section, we show you the categorization section, which shows you the type, who's the account manager. With all these fields over here, they're totally configurable. If you feel turnover doesn't match your business process, you can certainly configure that to your needs. Similar to that, this entire screen is customizable. If you feel it's a bit too overpopulated, you want to keep it as clean as possible, you can certainly edit, save, preview it, and save it accordingly. On the right here, we've got the at a glance section. You can see the spend in the last 365 days, financial year to date, they're growing, which is a great sign. You can also see the Google Maps integration. Once when I click on these tiles, it's going to take us to the sales transaction tab. And you can also see the line by line view of all the orders that have come through, if they've been ordered, delivered, and invoiced. You can see the local currency that you're dealing with, the margin, the percentage that you have set up in Unleashed, the sales order number, transaction date, and so on. You've totally got 588 transactions here. If you're after a specific SKU, You want to see the number of beans that they've got from you, you can just hit that up and that'll give you the breakdown of the number of beans you've got, the locally sourced ones and the Papua New Guinea ones as well. And if you're after a specific SO number, you can enter that here and that will pull through that report. And you may ask us a question, okay, mate, like what's the kind of, you're pulling through all this information. What are the reports that you're providing are similar to Unleashed? The sales analysis is the go-to tab, where we give you the top level information of the segment, the spend, the order frequency, and the last order date. This interactive graph right here, that's the invoice value per month, and that's the order value per month. At any given stage, if you only want to focus on 2025, you can zoom in and see how well you've been performing. And as simple as that, you can zoom out as well. That's a nice little, as you can see, yeah, just not working before. Luckily it did, and you can scale back. And once when you open that report, we give you the breakdown of the total revenue generated. March has been a phenomenal month. Prior to that, there have been a few quiet months, but they have been fairly consistent in July last year as well. And another question is, okay, what are the products that they get from us for our sales team to give them some cross-selling opportunities? Once when you scroll down, we give you the top products by value and by order frequency. And through this interactive pie diagram, you can see right here, this particular SKU is 31.5% revenue, followed by another SKU, which is 24.9. You get the idea of the breakdown. And once when I click on that, we give you the list of the total revenue generated by Bar and Bay Coffee and list of all the products with a bit of a descending order value, which is the top consumed product. There are totally 12 SKUs that they've got from you. By far, this SKU is the top consumed product. And now when I click on one of this is where we get the tagline of the number one stock-aware CRM. Through the integration to Unleashed, as we showed you in the two-way sync, we just don't pull your customer data, but we also pull through your product files as well. Right from this SKU code, the name, the link to open this product in Unleashed, selling price, cost price, the stock available, when is the next shipment due, and so on. And you can also see the category that we have pulled through this product from, any images you have set up. By all means, Unleashed will still remain your master data. So any changes that you want to make to this SKU, you still have to do it in Unleashed. And through the overnight sync, it will reflect back into the CRM. And there are a few more information that we pull through on a product level. Of course, we pull through stock levels, as we didn't show you in the two-way sync. If you've got multiple warehouse locations, we pull through that stock for you. Any suppliers information that you've given us access, it could be quite useful, especially if you're out of stock and if you want to inform your customer when is the next shipment due, you can certainly show that information. And we also pull through the sales transaction on showing the most recent sales transactions that have happened so far on this particular product. And sales analysis, again, is a bit more of a deep dive in. Similar to Bar and Bay Coffee, for the Breville Coffee machine, we show you the top buyers. By far, Bar and Bay Coffee has been the top consumed product with 86 units sold. And once when you come down, we show you the buying pattern. As you can see right here, March has been a phenomenal month with 14 units. Other than that, it's been fairly quiet or maybe consistent. And you can use this report and you can either save this to Excel and make this as a stock forecasting report for your next financial year. Images and files, the CRM will be your single source of truth. Moving forward, if you do have additional images, rather than saving it in any Dropbox, you can save it right here in the CRM itself. Price tiers, any price tiers you have set up in Unleashed, we will capture that information and we will reflect that data when you're doing quoting or sales order. And finally, the whole idea of the CRM is to turn your, increase your average order value. So we have linked two products to this Breville coffee machine, which is the knockbox and the grinder, stainless steel. So what this means is every time when you're trying to add this to a quote or a sales order, these two products will come up as a prompt, encouraging your sales team to increase that average order value. So that's the kind of information that we pull through from the integration and the magic matrix analysis. It's another little key little reporting tool after the RFM analysis, where it's actually a Harvard Business School idea where we pull through all your product categories. And you can see right here, we show you which are the products that Bar and Bay Coffee has bought from you so far, and where is the room for improvement as well. And you can certainly run a targeted marketing campaign, make them aware of that, create an opportunity, track that opportunity, and eventually make them buy that category. I'll show you the global view on how that looks like, but that's another little key reporting logic I thought I should mention to you. And just coming back to the main screen again, we also have AI integrated in the CRM. So what this means is it shows you the average order value. It also shows you what's the shortest time your customers have taken to place an order, what's the longest time. Your sales team will love this report because right from the get-go, it gives your sales reps targeted list to who they should be targeting on and what's the kind of revenue that can be collected straight away. As an example, if live leads do place an order today, they do get pushed out of this report as well. So it's quite up to date and really extremely useful for the sales team. Similar to that, we also give you a customer trends report on who's growing, static, and declining, a bit of a year-on-year comparison on who's growing, and if the ones that are declining, you have the ability to run targeted marketing campaigns and ensure you get them back to that repeat order cycle. Needs engagement based on when was the last time your customers placed an order, or when was the last time your sales rep logged any kind of activity like the email sent, notes, captured or task set up. This will be up to date as well. Problems is an after-sales ticketing solution, as you can see, uh, mostly handled for damaged goods on delivery or any warranty and claims. There is a workload that can be configured, but this gives the ability for your team members to certainly resolve issues in a bit more of a timely manner. Close rates is any new opportunities your team members are working on. We have sales pipeline reporting. Based on if you won or lost that opportunity, it will reflect in this report as well. And we also give you a nice little breakdown of the 12 months order, a bit of a monthly breakdown on how well the orders have been coming through. It's quite self-explanatory. And and the whole idea is through the two-way sync we give you a comparison of the orders between this month versus last month. And if you open that report, based on the deep two-way sync, any orders you processed in Unleashed will reflect in the CRM straight away and vice versa. And that's the key little, the whole idea of the integration. You can be up to date. And with all our reports, we give you some filtering options where you can jump between this month versus last month. You can set some date ranges, specific time, last quarter of last year, and so on. All the data can be captured. And just quickly coming back to the main screen, so far what we saw is the level of integration and the kind of key actionable insights that your team can be benefited right from the get-go. Now, what we're going to do, as we promised, we're going to do some live actions. So we're going to be jumping on this key account called Michelle, who works for Browns of Ipswich. She is the main decision maker. As you can see through the breadcrumb menu, we know where exactly we're located, which is Browns of Ipswich, who's a loyal customer. There's been a bit of a dip in revenue. Let's see what we can do with this particular customer. And we highly recommend to work on our contacts so we know exactly what's the kind of information, has been captured at the past, the orders and any, like the damaged beans, all that information gets captured. And from here, what we're going to do is basically go in, Michelle is called and wants to get a quote processed. By all means, any activities that you guys have had, your sales team members, it can be captured as a generic note, incoming call, left a message, customer meeting, and so on. And you can post this so it gives visibility to all the team members. And also, we would highly recommend is a task manager where you have the ability to set specific tasks for the users in the CRM. And the moment you action a task and create that, he or she gets a dual notification. One is on their Outlook or Gmail inbox. There's a task that needs to be actioned, and it reflects on the activity feed over here. And it also acts like this is the task list where you can see right here the ones which are overdue. So if you'd like to resolve a task, you'll have to go into that physically and mark it as complete. And not only does it go off from this list over here, it also, any changes that happens here will also reflect for the team members for absolute visibility. We also have email sending service, which I'm going to show you shortly. But right now, the goal is Michelle wants to get a quote sent out. By all means, if you know what exactly Michelle is going to place an order, you can process a sales order, no issues whatsoever. Once when you confirm, it will get pushed into Unleashed as a draft sales order. But since Unleashed customers love, one of the biggest business processes are quoting, let's do a top of order. And you can also do a based on order, like say if they regularly order certain set of products, you can make them as a gold package, silver, bronze, and so on. Rather than having to key that order, you can just choose that right here. Of course, that needs to be configured. Meanwhile, all this data gets populated from Unleashed. Once when you hit create, it's going to take us to the landing page of the quote. And once when you go in, you do have the ability to enter the reference number. If Michelle has given you any reference number, you can enter that there. Once when you come hit the drop down, you can see right here, the CRM is pretty smart. It only shows you the most frequently ordered items by Michelle. And just as an example, if I come in and choose the Breville coffee machine, and this is what I wanted to show you, the two products that have been linked, which is the knockbox and the stainless steel. And if Michelle would like to add these products, you can just hit the toggle on. This does get populated. And again, this could be a smaller window, which may not be quite sufficient for your team members. So if they hit the search section, we also show you the multi-line quoting system. And we pull through all the 84 products with the images you have set up, pricing, cost price, stock levels, and so on. You can also go search after a specific product. You can go through categories. If it's only ingredients that she's after or machines, you can go through that. Or if she's asking for recently purchased, you can see the list of all the recently purchased products that she's got. She's definitely got the Australian beans, as we saw earlier, Colombian, Ethiopian, Mexican, and we can just hit add. And if you go in and see if she's asking for any recommendations, we can go into popular. And I do feel it gives you the list of other products as well. And once when you hit add and close, this is the data, all this gets populated. And we also have a nice little UI feature. If Michelle sends you a PO, as long as it's got the right SKU code, description, quantity, and pricing, if it's a CSV file, you can drag and drop that in this dotted box, and this will get populated. Again, saving in a lot more of your time. There's a few more things that you can do in this intuitive code. You can edit the pricing and discount. Let's say if she's eligible for additional 20% rebates on machine, you can go honor that for her. And there are a few more things that you can do as well. You can do a bit of a grouping. So let's say the coffee machine, of course, it's going to be a machine category. Hit save on that. That will get subcategorized. And then the other ungrouped one, we can go in and then mark it as maybe beans or ingredients, whichever you feel is appropriate. And that will also get segmented. And from here, we have the ability to send a document. We can replicate your Unleashed quote template during your onboarding process, or we have the ability to choose some specific templates like, quote document or quote template with heavy branding, or even a blank letter based on your requirement. You can choose that. One thing that we would highly recommend is, by all means, if Michelle confirms this quote on the phone, you can just hit confirm. That gets pushed into Unleashed as a draft sales order. But I'm going to show you how to automate this workflow from Michelle's point of view. You can always send Michelle an email, and you can either send a basic email quote, which will have the standard table of form, and with all the discounts, you can send that. You can send the order confirmation, which will again look like that. Well, based on a consent, you can process that. Or this could be quite useful, which is basically, giving action buttons and putting onus on Michelle to either approve or decline this quote. So I'm not going to send this email, but let me show you how this template looks like. It's actually quite exciting if you're looking at where when you're sending a quote, if the customer is able to check out, there's nothing like it, which saves a lot more of your sweet old time. Just bear with me for a few seconds, please. As you can see right here, that's exactly how it looks like. And if Michelle is, after seeing this template, if she's happy with that, once she hits approve, it's going to take us to the payment gateway. And if Michelle is happy with the pricing, you know what? I'll just enter the PO number. Once she hits approve, now it goes back into the CRM and then gets pushed into Unleashed as a draft sales order, and the rest is business per usual. So that's pretty much on how you can actually, recommend the customer to come up with this self-checkout with confirming a quote. As you can see, thank you for approving the quote. I'm going to quickly go back to the CRM. Not going to bother sending this. Quickly refresh that just to see if that order has come through. Again, apologies. It's a trial account, so sometimes these things can happen. But you can see right here, waiting to be confirmed. and the order has been completed. So that's pretty much how you could action that to just to see if that's been completed as well from the customer's end. And you also have the ability to get card payments upfront if you have integration to Stripe. The card information will reflect here. You can pull through that. And with deliveries, any deliveries you have set up in Unleashed, we pull through that information as well. And if you are shipping it to regional Australia, New Zealand, or any other part of the world, you can also have the ability to configure those charges. So that's how simple it is to actually take and process an order or a quote from this intuitive platform. Just going back to the main screen, as an example, if Michelle had confirmed that order, how will you be notified? If I go into my settings, you can go into notifications. You have the ability to hit the toggle on for any orders that are any new orders specifically that are coming through. You can make that as daily or instant, so you know on top who has confirmed that quote that you have sent out. Any integration issues or any customers missing orders or who needs engagement, you can also make that as a daily, so you get an email to your Outlook or Gmail notifying who you should be targeting straight away. And you also have the ability to see the activity your team members have done on a daily basis, on the records that they've accessed, on what they've been up and about on a daily basis to see they're getting the maximum out of the CRM, or you can guide them accordingly as well. And now quickly going back, there are a few more things. So far we saw how do we handle existing customers. So handling a new prospect. We do have a data import. So we will provide you a complimentary service of a data import. As long as you provide us the file with the templates that we're after, we can do that for you. Or you have the ability to create companies on the go and contacts as well. Unlike other CRMs, we don't have any limitations. Or we also have another little file here, which is inquiry form. You can create an inquiry form and host it on our website, on your website, sorry. And any inquiries that comes through from your website will get saved under marketing under inquiries. And then your team members can qualify it, maybe create an opportunity or a contact, and then track that and create and convert that opportunity as well. And similarly, you have the ability to create opportunities right here, and you can have a description. You can assign this to a specific salesperson, and with statuses, you can see right here. Let's say if it's a new customer, we have a set standard status. This can be configured as well. That's part of the sales pipeline as well. And I did mention to you, we would give you a live example on problems. Let's say as an example, we have a problem right now, and that is for damaged goods. And the parent is going to be Michelle. She's the one who's raised it. It's come through via email, and the type, it can be numerous issues that you're dealing with, technical product. And if you do technical, we will have RMA number as well. You can pass it on to the technical team, ensure that's resolved. But just for this purpose, I'm going to go in and choose a delivery issue. And we have not configured that as yet. And let's say other new issue. Let's say working on. Say with us, once when you create, it goes down to the problem ticketing solution. As you can see, you have to set a follow-up task. Pass on, collect photo from customer. You can choose priority high, and we can mark it for today. And once when you hit create, again, it reflects on the activity feed, as we did see earlier. And let's say, as an example, you're on the store visit. Rather than sending an email, you can go into the documents and you can basically hit the plus symbol. Any photos that you have taken, you can upload it directly, and you can see the damaged goods. Okay, you know what? It's worthwhile to close this case and process the credit note. And from here, you can set a process credit note to your accounts team, and you can come here, close successfully, and whatever outcome you've done can be reflected right here, basically giving your team members an opportunity to work internally and resolve issues in a bit more of a timely manner. And similarly, we do have heaps of reports that you can access under sales. You can see customers who've got X but not Y, decreasing revenue. The new opportunities is a key report. One of the main reasons being it's a set standard table of form. In due course of time, you might be dealing with hundreds of opportunities, especially the one that we just won 10 minutes ago. It's a set standard table of form. You can go add filters, see who's working on which opportunity and which status it's at. And we also have a Kanban view, could be quite useful for your sales forecast meetings. And the monthly view gives an exact information on which is going to be closed in this month or the following months and so on. And by all means, if you feel none of these reports are, catering to your needs, we do have the ability to build your own reports on the go, and our onboarding team members do provide a report training session as well. Finally, before I close the session, two main dashboards I wanted to show you. Sales managers, it gives you a bit more of a holistic approach, capturing the entire operations of your business, right from the year-on-year performance, total customers, net change you're growing, which is a great sign, closed deals, pipelines, and problems. It's a single snapshot on the exact performance of your customer. And another key little information we get asked a lot is goals. It's a new little feature we've done. So as you can see right here, you can set goals on the go, and you can also see view performance based on this goals that you have set up, 100K, how well the performance has been done, has the target been reached, and so on. It's a nice little way to set KPIs, not just on a business, but on a user and a customer as well, and track all those KPIs moving forward. And finally, another key little report, which is the Magic Matrix. But for this, you do need a third-party marketing tool, which is MailChimp, Klaviyo, and Spotler. Just to give you a bit of an understanding here, these are the categories we've pulled through. And just to give you a nice little example, ingredients, red means unaware, amber means they're aware, blue means they have an opportunity, green means they're bought. And out of 30 odd customers, 15 have bought, 16 are unaware, 16 are on an opportunity, and you can see also, I think one has an opportunity. So basically what we're trying to do right here, if you open the matrix, we put your customers on the x-axis and the product on the y-axis. As we pointed out earlier, red means unaware, green means they're bought, and amber means they're aware, they added to a campaign. So if you notice, out of all the products, sugar sticks is one thing which none of them have even sourced from you so far. We can run for specific customers, champion, potential, promising, don't lose them and at risk. And you can choose even the customer types, maybe only for New Zealand resellers or the Rosanna group or VIP. And from here, what we do, build an awareness campaign just for sugar sticks. We've already chosen the segment. Go next, only to the ones who are unaware. Once when you hit next, create a new campaign activity. That contact list gets pushed into MailChimp or Klaviyo. Once when you send that campaign through by adding your flyers, what happens to this report? All the red dots over here turn into amber, which means right now they're aware. And if they respond to the campaign activity, and let's say if the response is positive, some might say, oh, we didn't know you sourced sugar sticks. We would like to know more information about pricing. You can create an opportunity and turn that into blue, which means they're now aware that you sourced that and they have the pricing information. And if they do come back to you and say, you know what, we're happy with the quote you provided, we would like to go ahead, that'll turn into green. So the whole idea is to analyze and assess as many as cross-selling opportunities, make this report as green as possible, which will in turn increase your average order value. With that being said, thank you so much for patiently sitting through today's session. I hope I was able to capture the flavor of the CRM and the key reporting tools, which will provide you those key actionable insights right from the get-go. We really appreciate your valuable time, and this could be an ideal time for any Q&A session at your end, which I'm more than happy to answer. Thank you once again. Hopefully see you on the other side on taking the free trial from us. And what I would do before the questions, I'll actually show you the next steps, which is, again, as a nice little way of saying thank you. The next step ideally is to start a free trial, which could be done from your Unleashed portal. On the left, there is a CRM tab. Once when you hit that, your data import starts, and it takes about 24 to 48 hours to complete that. And then you're good to go. I will get in touch with you, or one of our Unleashed reps will get in touch with you to organize the demo. And as a part of us saying thank you, and it's an end of year special deal that we're doing, if you start the free trial, and subscribe before the end of this month, ideally before Christmas, the first 3 months is going to be half price, which is a nice little discount that you can take from us for joining today's session. And now we can have the Q&A session if you have any questions at your end. Thank you. said, thank you. I believe that's all the questions and 10 minutes of your time back. Thank you again for joining today's session. And it's me, Suraj, signing off. Hopefully, see you again with a free trial with your existing data. Cheers. Thanks. Bye.